Hello lovely people, it is Lilah here with a somewhat delayed November energy update. I have been romping around the African landscape in the country of Namibia with my husband for our honeymoon, and so for the past week or so we have been gallivanting in our mobile we call Mavis, our 2x4 come 4x4 with our tent on top, around the rough landscape of Namibia, from the southern part right up north to the Orongo Mountains. And so I'll just give you a brief show of this landscape. We are blessed to have a stopover in Windhoek as part of our travels, and since we have been in veldskoene and dirty clothes for the past week or so, it is quite refreshing to come and just relax for a day before we head off again tomorrow. So apologies for the late November, we're 4 days in, but it felt appropriate that today is also the new moon for me to share a message. And also apologies for any video quality or sound quality issues. I'm doing this off the cuff next to the pool, in the African heat, which is why the limited clothing, because it's very hot. But I hope you find what I share today useful. I am a healer who works from my premises in Cape Town, and I am a child of Africa. It is my continent. It is the land of the ancient ones who are my spiritual guides, and it is the land that feeds my soul. So what is it that I have to share? Well, there were 3 things that I was offered in terms of the November energy, and this also will carry on until we reach mid-December. I feel there's beautiful birds in the tree behind here, so I'm hoping you get to hear those. So what were the words? The first one I wanted to share with you is clean slate. That's very important, and I'm going to talk more about that. The second one is consolidate and reflect, and then the third theme for November is about navigating your timeline with care and commitment. Now, I don't need to tell you that a whole lot is going on at the moment, and with today's new moon, the energy of clearing the slate has also been powerfully intensified. So in terms of the energies coming over the next few months, there are going to be rolling opportunities for fast, quick healing. There's going to be many opportunities to shift and change timelines quite quickly. So the first one, clean the slates. Let's take a deeper look at that. The image that I was shown by my guides is, you know, the old days, good old days. Well, I'm old enough to have been taught by from a blackboard, where you would have a duster and you would just clear off the chalk, or the teacher would wipe the chalkboard clean with one swipe, really. So the symbolism of that is that with one swipe, very easily, you can change or clear the narratives that are running in your field, in your mental field, in your emotional field. Now, not only that, but when I asked the guides for further information, after showing me the clearing of the slate, that also changed to the multicolored rainbow effect. Now, of course, in the, you know, we used to have the white chalk that was the regular one, but then you get those beautiful colored chalks. So the concept in terms of cleaning the slate is that you have an energetic opening portal opportunity for the next 2 to 3 weeks to really wipe away, let go of, drop old narratives, old thought patterns, old behaviors that are no longer serving you. And it can happen quite quickly because the energy is changing very fast, and also the energy in terms of your own timeline. So where you want to go, what you want to do, where you want your spiritual path to lead. So we need to be quite aware. We need to be quite flexible to be able to take advantage of that. But think about what it means to you to take that duster and just clear the narrative, because now is the time. So that's the first one. The second one, about consolidate and reflect, is we have all been through a lot in this past year, 2 years. I don't think there is one person on the planet who has not experienced changes, even if it's self-reflections, changes in behavior, circumstances, the whole lot, right? So now is the time for you to really sit and reflect on what has happened to you as we near the end of the year, because you'll most likely find that a whole lot has happened, that there is many things that you have had to face, many challenges you've had to step through, that you have done with courage and with strength, and you might have found strength that you never knew existed as part of this environment that we're being exposed to. So take some time over the next 2 weeks to really reflect on that and to consolidate any things that really made a difference to you, those things that helped you, the people that helped you, and hold them close, the habits changes, and really consolidate it into your daily being, right, into your daily practice, your daily spiritual practices. So consolidation and reflection are two terms that need to be really considered over the next few weeks. And then moving into the last theme for November is timelines. Now this has been a big theme pretty much for me for the last 24 months. As COVID lifted or started growing, I just received words, timelines of potential, reflecting to me that there are many timelines available, not only in your own life, but to planet Earth, right? We're not over the hump yet. And so what we're seeing is many opportunities to change track, to take that fork in the road, to hit the T-junction and go left or right. So there are decisions to be made, but there are also many golden rivers of opportunity. And I mean, this land of mine, Africa, has many golden rivers of energy underneath, and I've experienced that during my travels, some very intensely actually, and some quite difficult. But what we are part of is a creation of new timelines of potential. And so consider where you are at as we roll towards the end of the year. Consider what timeline you are on, whether you're maybe at the crossing of a timeline, whether you're at the beginning of the creation of a new timeline. So consider opportunities, consider things that are changing, but really be on your toes. And how do we do that? We live in the present moment. I'm not saying don't plan, but live in the present moment. Take into account everything that is happening within and around you. Take note of the November energies, consolidate reflection in order to step into 2022 really ready to roll. Because time is changing, the way we experience time is changing, things are quickening. Even though you thought they were fast enough, they're going to get faster. So things are quickening up and they're moving. So you've got to be nimble, you've got to be quick, you've got to be flexible, right? Be able to drop things quite quickly. Don't stay stuck in old habits. Don't stay stuck in old ways of behavior. And you might even find there's moves coming, physical moves, job opportunities, house changes. Travel lightly. And that is one thing that we've experienced, my husband and I, on this trip, is that we literally traveled with everything we needed in our little car, in a couple of black boxes, 2 chairs, and a tent on top of the roof. So we have traveled lightly, but we have had the most amazing time just connecting with nature and being quiet and watching the landscape, hearing the birds, listening to the wind, and really just being part of the planet Earth. So take that time for yourself to really rest, to become part of nature, to understand that you are an integral part of planet Earth, that she needs us as much as we need her, and that it is the time in solitude and in quiet that brings you to a space where you gain further clarity, where you gain further strength, where you find the courage to make the changes necessary. So I think I'm going to stop here, since it's not the ideal video place, but I hope you have enjoyed this November energy update. I'll give you a last look at the beautiful blue African sky, which is spectacular today. And I am hoping you are all well and happy and safe. I will be back on board again next week when I'm back home in Cape Town. To all of those of you in Cape Town, I am going to start seeing clients face to face now, so my healing room will be set up for that. I am also very much looking forward to connecting again with my community members of Patreon. So if you would like to join that community, the links are all below the video. I am also going to start my sharings from the sanctuary, which is my in-person community sharings and talks and meditations and whatever comes to mind. So I am saying goodbye, and I will be in touch next week with the Love Bites from Lilah on Wednesday. But until then, take good care of yourself, have a look at the beautiful African thorn tree behind me, and stay safe. Much love. Bye for now.